everybody, and welcome back to Project Storm. I'm Storm, and today we are going to be building an extremely powerful plane. Not just any plane, a highly unstable plane. I have come across a lot of extremely valuable information in the past in the past days, and it's helped me quite a bit with how I build, how I make my planes function, and it has allowed me to completely ditch the use of gyros while also maintaining higher maneuverability than gyro fighters. And I'm going to teach you how to do that today, because I believe more people should be able to know just how the holy grail of making planes came to be when gyros weren't here. Now, I used to build a lot of planes back in the day when gyros weren't around, when not even fins, like elevator fins and ailerons were around. You had to make your own. So that's what we're gonna do. We're basically gonna make the best possible plane that I can possibly make with just custom tail fins, maybe some canards, and I think we're gonna make an SU-35. So let me pull that up right now. Don't look at that. Okay. The Sukhoi SU-30, or the 35. We're gonna do the 35. SU-35, Stage 2, super maneuverability, which means they can perform extremely well while being in practical stalls, which is pretty hard to get through. But I figured out the secret. I'm going to pull out an old plane versus one of my new planes. My girlfriend was on call, and I just want to say I love her because she's probably going to watch this video and be very laughy when she hears this because she was just on call. I just said I love you and just hang up because she needs to go downstairs. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yes, another letter is coming your way, babe. Anyways, so we're gonna go through one of my older planes, right? I made these planes when I had no idea what was going on with planes and I was just building, right? So obviously you know how planes look. And in this game, it's so strong and powerful because if you know how a plane looks, you can honestly build a plane that works decently well. This is... what the heck? Interesting. Okay, not that one. No, great. Okay. So this was my F15 that I made. Simple, very, very cute, very nice. Has a problem in the front. I tried to make a nose cone out of a mini thruster. Actually makes it pitch up a little bit. But it's nice, you know, it has 6 blasters, 2 rockets, nothing crazy. And I really just wanted to make this thing work as well as possible. So that's what I did. What are my rockets? Oh shit, okay. So, it works, right? Turn circle is this. Not bad. Not bad for a plane, right? It can dogfight like this. Or so I thought. Has flares. And yeah, that's that. That's my F-15, right? It looks nice, I guess. Could look better. But it looks decently nice. We got good wings, we got paddles. But as you can see, this plane is also very, very fragile. And I didn't know how to armor a plane before. Now we're going to compare it to something I've just built. Now, this is not the Showcase, which is why I'm only pulling out one of my weakest ones. But this is the ST6000, I think. This is one of my most powerful planes now. I have 4 of them. They are called legit performance dogfighters. And as you can see, it's highly armored, has thrust vectoring, pretty nice looking, and it has differential thrust as well, which I will teach you how to do in this video. It's super simple, but it allows me to do things like this. 1 second. Okay, you pitch up, then you do things like this. Just a simple roll, simple yaw. But you can recover from things like this super easily. Just get out of a stall real quick. Super simple. 6 blasters, 1 rocket. You can do anything with this plane. It will follow you no matter what. I have my insignia there, just for people to see. And yes, I do have an insignia. And it's just super fun to fly, right? This thing can keep target acquisition as well as I want it to. It will respond to whatever I want it to do. If I want to go that way, I go that way. I control it. But if I really want to go that way, pitch, and like that. I have to be in behind of seat to actually control this thing well. But I can do anything with this plane. And it's one of my most maneuverable planes, but that is why it is hard to fly. And I'm still learning how to fly these planes. It's a huge learning curve. And it can take actual hits too, which is funny. Usually people would die instantly. Like, watch this. I'm gonna slam into that right there. And I'm not gonna die. I'm still gonna be functional. Let's give it this. That's just my storm plane, right? Then we have Judge. Now, Judge is a different type of hyper-maneuverable. This one's hyper-maneuverable, the other one's super-maneuverable. This one literally can do this. Which is funny. Pretty cool. Good differential thrust. None of these have gyros. Can take off from level ground too. Watch this. Let me fly over there. It will follow whatever I want it to do. Go in first person. Follow. We want to turn and land. Boom, let's land. Landing. Decent landing. I want to take off. I can take off. Get to 150. Pull up. We're good. Easy. Yaw. We're good. Easy. This is actually probably my most maneuverable plane now. The Judge is my dogfighting plane. The other ones are all dogfighting planes too, like my F-22, which doesn't look that good, but it is an F-22. Super, super maneuverable. This one can do anything. And it loves doing anything. Okay. Regain your airspeed. Take a turn. Not there. As I said, it's hard to fly these things, especially in orbit camera. So I'm gonna go into first person for this, but okay, we take off. Okay, we air. Catches the wind nicely. And we're good. We can stall out. This plane is fun to fly and can have some really good target acquisition, but I'm only showing this because I want you to get a feel for how planes that are unstable are supposed to feel. This is how an F-22 would fly, just a little less janky and would fly by wire. That's the turn circle, where it's almost falling out of the sky. And then once you don't want to fall out of the sky anymore, you don't. That's super maneuverability, where you can get out of a stall incredibly fast and then just get right back in one, like this. I am flying backwards right now. No longer. That is what super maneuverability is about. And it is powerful in a dogfight. True super maneuverability is not just being able to turn and then fly linearly. It's supposed to be able to fly in different axes at the same time. It's where you can do almost anything with your plane. Take extreme amounts of damage and still fly because you have complete control of your thrusters. So, what we're gonna do is build one right now. The Sukhoi Flanker 35. So let's build it, shall we? Okay. Now that you've seen the showcase, let's get started with the cockpit. Super simple, super simple. We want it to look like this. It is going to be... We want this plane to be at least 5 tall. And there's a reason for that. it is going to be a pretty cool reason too. We need this to be like this. Okay, Sukhoi has a very interesting little thing about it. This is where the rocket is gonna go, but we're not gonna talk about that just yet. Okay, that's the nose cone. We clean it up here, so let's look at the Sukhoi. Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay. Clean it up. Put this here, put this here. Or we can put it back here. Doesn't really matter. As long as it has a way here. Honestly, that's fine. Is it? Yeah, it is. We don't need that, honestly. It can be back here. Okay, now we do the neck. And the neck is going to be the biggest problem for us. The neck is going to be extremely light. It is not going to be well armored at all. So we need to make sure that this thing's neck can actually withstand a bit of damage. If it can't, we die instantly. That's it, game over. Okay. Move this up. And all of this is just problem solving. Very simple. But also, more problem solving comes with building more creations. And that is just practice. That's all that is. That's all that is. What did I just do? Okay, there we go. I turned my sensitivity up, my mouse, which was a little scary. Okay, that is Cockpit, pretty much. Kind of looks like a flanker, but it'll get better as we get everything else up here. I could honestly make this a little bit better by doing something like this. That's fine, sure, why not? Okay, this will allow us to have a little bit more armor on the sides, because remember, we're trying to be armored, super maneuverable, and armored. Now, we have a little canopy. We have a little bit of this. We have a little bit of this. Okay, Sukhoi. Its canopy is very thin. It's not like the F-22, so we're gonna taper it off right here. And boom, there we go. We have the canopy. Now that's looking like a Sukhoi. Okay. Now we get crafty a little bit. Okay. So now we have to make the body. Body is gonna be super simple. It's gonna be 2 sets of thrusters. Don't be afraid to put 300 power cores in one of these planes. It is okay. You don't have to be afraid. Save as much complexity as possible at all times. You need that complexity for armor and weapons. Okay? As I said, super simple. Make it as long as it needs to be if you're trying to make a replica. If you're trying to make a concept, you don't have to make it as long. Okay. So this is going to be that part. You see what I'm looking at right here? This is going to taper off into this. Okay, we're going to taper this off into that little piece back there on the Sukhoi. And it's just for realism. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't give us an advantage, but it is pretty cool. So we're going to add it on, and it's a good way to differentiate a Sukhoi from anything else. And that's that. It is, don't be afraid of these yellow marks either. Okay, I think it's as long as it needs to be. So this is the canopy. It goes about, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 of canopies. So it needs to be a little bit longer. It's fine, we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take this, and that's 8. Okay, cool. That is how long it needs to be. So now we're gonna make the rest of the fuselage, and that's super simple. All you have to do is make a little bit of a platform. Use anything you want. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you have enough blocks and enough complexity to perfectly space everything. Super simple, super simple. Let's do 3, right? Well, we don't even need that yet. Actually, yeah, we do. Okay, nope. Put on this, and all of this is just fuselage building. Comes with practice. None of this is functionality yet. But once we do get to the functionality, I'll give you some tips on how to make it work. And that is usually when we get to the wings. The wings are the hardest part, because the wings matter a lot. They matter so much. Okay, I already did this way wrong because I forgot this thing has a neck. Okay, try your absolute best not to use any piston glitches or any hinge glitches to get aesthetics. If you do, you could possibly screw up the entire plane, because if those get shot, you will glitch out very bad. And we don't want that, because if you glitch out, you lose functionality. If you lose functionality, you die. That's all there is to it. So try not to do that. But it's a super simple fix to get the neck. And there we go. That's much better. Okay, cool. Great. It is going to have a little bit of thrust that is in a weird place that is going to make it pitch down. So we're going to delete that. We don't need it. It's okay. And we are going to taper this off right here by doing this. Aerodynamics. Okay. We are getting to a point where we need to focus on aerodynamics. Aerodynamics are actually so important. They are so important. I have never built correctly in terms of aerodynamics, and I need to fix that. But you can go Mach so simply with maybe like 100 power core. This thing could go Mach if I make every aerodynamic super good. And that's all there is to it. It's just aerodynamics, simple aerodynamics. And I never knew it was that easy. I never knew. But I should have known. It's honestly the simplest thing ever. Okay, we take this, we take this. Just make everything pretty. Honestly, the biggest aerodynamics that you have to do are just get green. Just get green for everything. Fill in any holes that are there. You get green for everything, you're gonna be fine. Okay, there we go. We have main fuselage. Let's see how fast it goes for now. This is going to be our main thrust, and yes, it already flies, kind of. That's just due to aerodynamics, as I said. So, in this game, super cool, aerodynamics on regular blocks actually work how you think they would work. As you can see, we have a giant, right here, let me get out so you can see it better. We have a giant little wedge right there, and that is catching the wind and pushing our nose up. So we can actually take off right now without any control surfaces. If I were to do it correctly, I would be able to fly without any wings, without any control surfaces. Now the problem is with durability, as you get more components in your wings, as you get more and more stuff in your wings, it gets harder and harder to fly without them, because you need the functionality that they give. So you want to armor your wings. Okay, we're gonna try 6 back and start making the wings. Super simple, just make wings basically. It's not that hard. Even though this one is kind of weird. We can do this and then do this. Okay, go straight. Is this wingspan too big? Yes, it is, and it's too far forward. Okay. Too big, too far back, sorry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna put it like that. And 1, 2. Okay. You guys are getting a look into my head, and that's kind of scaring me, but it's okay. We're gonna use, instead of a 4 block, we're gonna use a 6 block here, because it actually is a pretty big difference. We're gonna make sure we add that thingy there, and then we're gonna have this. Okay, 4 block. It's all just angles, figuring out what they are. Okay. You see, this is one of those angles, this is one of these planes that has such a weird angle for the wings that it's honestly hard to do this without a hinge glitch. But I'm gonna try my best. You want to get it to where it's just blocks, And honestly, I think I did it. So I'm gonna skip this part, but because it's just regular angling. But yeah, be ready for when I come back. So now we have to remember that there's going to be differential thrust right here. The two big jet engines. Right now, this is just fuselage thrust. We aren't actually going to show that. So for now, we're actually going to add that big old thrust. Now the wings are connected. Okay, let's get to work. So we want this to be 5 tall, right? So use 6s. This is going to be a long video. That's okay. I think the long form content is something you guys enjoy. So I'll be here. Okay. And then we want it to be taller. Okay. So we're actually going to make the taller part out of these. Okay, cool. So now let's do this. We are nowhere near the complexity limit yet, so we're chilling. Why not? There. And then we can make that look cool later. With decaling and all that. Okay. Now we have the actual part that makes this look cool. Okay, we're going to use staggered thrusters. We're going to make the blocks that hold them super light. Boom. Okay. Wait, this is going to be the thrust vectoring. What am I doing? Well, yeah, we're going to add thrust vectoring, by the way. Probably should have mentioned that. It's going to be pretty strong, too. It's going to be very strong, actually. This might be my strongest thrust vectoring yet, because of how this creation was built, how the thrust vectoring is. Okay, cool. Now we add the hinge, which, okay, this is a big thing that I learned from a very awesome dogfighter named Maddie, not to be confused with Madeline. Sorry, I'll say that later. Make sure that you only use one hinge, and yes, while it looks like it may be a really big disadvantage, because you only have one connection point. Well, while it is, if that one hinge gets broken and you have another hinge connected up, let's say I could connect it right here. This hinge will glitch out if the other hinge is broken. Because it's weld groups, I can't really explain it, but this hinge being connected to this, and this hinge being connected to this makes it two separate weld groups in one. If one weld group is broken, the other one glitches out. That's the best way I can describe it. Main takeaway: crank everything up to 45, let it rip, and learn it. 45 is the best angle of attack for any aerodynamic craft. Make sure you always have everything at 45. That's better. Okay, cool. Now let's do the wings. First, we need to put the elevators in here. Now, instead of glitching tail fins in, which a lot of people do, I'm going to be using simple elevators. So these small elevator fins. No input. Remember that. They have really strong aerodynamics, on par with powered tail fins and simple tail fins. We're not going to be doing any powered tail fins. We're not going to be doing any gyros, no glitches either. Just a plane, okay? For now, I mean, yeah, it looks close enough. Looks close enough. Okay. When we actually get everything copied over, we're going to do the differential thrust. But for now, we don't need that. We need forces now. Now, where's the center of mass? It's right here. So let's put, since we understand just how heavy this thing is going to be, which is going to be twice as heavy as that, so 2,000 kilograms about, we need the wings to be around here. So we're going to put them as close to here as possible. It doesn't really matter anymore where the wings are. And I am saying wings as in 2 wing pieces per wing, because it gives you more survivability. It's a little more complex, like by 2, but it's the same as a big modular wing. So you don't really want that much lift, but now we can see all of our forces. Okay, this is extremely important. Let me put a tail fin on this, like vertical stabilizers on this thing. Another huge thing, vertical stabilizers. See if you notice anything about this. Ooh, that's clean. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna put the actual vertical stabilizers on. Guess where they're gonna be? Right here. Right here. So we're gonna put it as close to the center of mass as possible. Which means, see how it's right there? I'm gonna try and put it right here, not up here. If you put it up here, let's say you press E, right? You want to yaw that way. If it's up there and your center of mass is down here, when you yaw, you're gonna roll. Because obviously, you're gonna roll to the right, because it's offset. But the center of mass is right there and the yaw is right here, you're just gonna go straight to the right. And honestly, that's only for aerodynamics, not differential, because differential is just splitting the thrust. Splitting the thrust. That's why we have main thrust, right thrust, and left thrust. Super simple. The farther apart right thrust is from left thrust, the better the differential is going to be. That differential allows you to yaw and recover incredibly fast, leading to extreme super maneuverability. We're not going to have an input for that. 85, speed 2. Okay, cool. Nothing for there. Okay. Now, we need to put in other things. Okay, so this is really cool. Right out the gate, we want this to be directly on top or a little bit behind the center of mass. Okay. Center of horizontal drag shows the average of center of horizontal drag. Airplanes with center of drag far behind the center of mass are more stable flight. Okay. Horizontal drag is in front of your center of mass to make your vehicle very unstable in the air. Okay, cool, great. So, what does this mean? This means that this being in front will make us basically spin out. It's going to make us flat spin. If we put it behind, like over here, it's going to make us fly perfectly straight. Now, we put it right here. It's going to make us drift. It doesn't know whether to spin out or whether to stay stable. Now, if we put it back here, it's going to stay stable-ish, but our yaw is going to be that much more powerful. You see what I'm getting at? The closer this is to the center of mass, the more maneuverable you're going to be, but it's going to be way less unforgiving because your inputs are the only thing influencing this plane. It will not fly itself. It will not fly itself. It's a plane, not a person, and you're on the stick, okay? We're going to copy everything over and get to work. Here, we're good. All right, let's copy it over. 3, 2, 1. Damn it. It's very not good. Okay, what did we mess up? Okay, we'll only copy over a bit. Okay, there we go. Well, that was anticlimactic. It was almost cool. We'll just do it in 2 parts. What's the problem with the copy and paste, bro? And I understand mirror mode exists, I just don't trust it yet. Now we're getting close to complexity. Okay, cool, great. So now we have full functionality, and we honestly might be perfect. Oh my, that's actually really cool. Okay, this thing will fly already. It looks fat, holy. Oh. This thing looks fat. Oh man. Fat SU-35. But honestly, that's kind of accurate. S&W, and let's add in roll. Now the roll does not need to be as close to everything as you think it does. It doesn't have to be super far out, because now that your plane is considered unstable, it can just fly. Well, 1 second. Let us actually do this. Now that the plane is completely unstable, you don't have to put everything in the usual spot. You can actually be a little bit more forgiving with where you put your aerodynamics, which make you even stronger. The closer to the center of mass you are with your aerodynamics, the better. Because, well, if you get clipped, like if your wing gets cut off, well, you're cooked, right? Because usually your aerodynamic pieces are over there. Then you can't control. But from here, you can armor it. And now you may be wondering, well, it's closer to your center of mass now. Why the heck would you do that? I'll show you. Okay. Now we have pretty good everything. Okay, cool. We can fly. I think I have, what's it called? Oh, man. Yeah, that's super maneuverable, would you say? We have yaw, I think. Kind of. Alright, let's fix this thing. We need steering help off. I think? Yeah, we need steering help off. And we need to get rid of this. There we go. No more collision. Need to get rid of this. Steering help. Yeah, steering help is on. No wonder. Steering help off. Okay, cool. And then we need to get this done. Okay, now we need to add a little bit more to pull back the stability. We need stability, so put stuff behind this interm mast just by a little bit. Never overdo it, because the whole reason that your plane is so powerful is because it is unstable. So don't go too far with it. Never go too far. And then all that's good. All that's good. We kind of need tail fins, so I'll add that now. Now we're getting somewhere. We'll make the bottom in a second. Okay. Now if that's working, we should be able to take off. There we go. Now it's a flying wing. Okay, cool. We have roll. We have pitch. And our pitch is insane. Recovery is insane. Wow, this thing may be a dogfighter. This airframe naturally is very wind catchy, but also you can actually fly it. Like, it's flyable. I want to go here, I go here. I want to dodge, I dodge. Go over here, I go over here. Can we do anything cool? Yes, we can! Woo! Okay, this thing is fun to fly. It's that simple. That's how you make an unstable plane. Now, let me tell you how to armor it, and let me give you some tips on how to fly it. It takes a lot of practice, obviously, but you will be able to fly these things. To fly it, tap. Tap your keys. If you're on keyboard and mouse, tap. If you have a flight stick, use it. If you want to use a flight stick, hell yeah, go ahead. If you have controller, it's much easier on controller, I believe. The only other tips I have is tune it. Tune it to you. If you feel that it's too hard to fly at max power, you don't need max power to beat anyone in a dogfight. Honestly, the only times you would need max power to beat people in a dogfight is if you're fighting a glitch fighter, or you're fighting exploits, no drag, gyros like on 10, or like people like Madeline, me, I guess, sorry, wow, Madeline, me, maybe Nano Dudo 5, people you probably have never heard about, or Seraph, definitely, Maddie, 2 people in Relate, Estrella, people like that, people that have been in the shadows for so long. Yeah. Anyways, time to tell you how to armor it. Okay. Big. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, everyone. Hoods. You see this? Long hoods? Okay, cool. Look at the aerodynamics. You ready? Where are they? Nowhere to be found, right? Okay, cool. Look at the aerodynamics now. Still gone. Guess what? That means if it has no aerodynamics, it can be used as armor on top of wings and on the bottom of wings, and it won't impact lift. That is a whole block that can be on top of wings that will not impact lift at all. This means, oh yeah, by the way, if you put any blocks under or on top of a wing, it will not generate lift. That's just a little tip for anyone who did not know that. But now you know that it will generate lift. It will generate lift. That is the most insane tip I can give you right now. Okay, let's fix the aerodynamics a little bit. A little bit. Wow, Reds. That's not good. Okay, we want to get this thing flying pretty fast. We want to get it flying straight. Make sure to check for weld groups all the time. It's all pretty much green. Oh, there. And then yeah, that's pretty much all we can do for aerodynamics so far. We taper this off, give it a little bit of armor. It's not going to be super armored. It's probably going to be my lightest armored vehicle, because it's just to show super maneuverability, maybe even hyper, because honestly this thing is insane. It's pretty cool, and I like it a lot. Let's put this here. Okay, cool. And then we have, that's pretty much it. Now let's do the differential. Okay, differential, y'all, super simple. It's a lot simpler than you think. This is something I learned from Maddie. Take one of these, get rid of it. Okay, you want an and a NOR gate. Now all of you are probably going to be like, oh, here comes another super overcomplicated logic system from Storm. But it's not my logic system, therefore it's extremely simple. NOR gate, Q and E, attach it to the AND gate, whatever your thrust button is. For me, it's space. AND gate, connect it up to your differential thrust. This is going to take a while because I'm doing this in a very weird way. Do not connect it up to any thrust that is not differential. Okay, you have it connected up. Great. Now, go to your differential thrust. A very easy way to select all like this is take out your thrusters themselves. Select these. Press whatever this yaw button will be. Since it's the right thrust button, you're going to be turning this way if you only fire these. So Q. Since this is the left thrust button, E. Okay, so now you put the thrusters back in. Nice and easy. And now you have differential. All this is supposed to do, well, the reason we put that AND gate in there and the NOR gate is so that you can have these thrusters firing whenever you're not using yaw, so that you don't bleed any speed. You use all of your speed all the time. And we're good. Wow. Thing works well. I am having a bit of trouble with... Yeah, okay. There it is. I found it. Whatever. It's fine. We can fly. Okay, let's get in behind the seat. Okay. Thing is sparking, but we have super maneuverability. Heck yeah. We have yaw. It's actually not that strong. It's not as strong as I thought it would be. We have yaw. We have good recovery for that yaw. It's pretty nice, actually. Yaw. Good recovery. And this thing just flies. This thing floats. It's so nice, actually. I like it. Okay. Use your yaw. Use everything. Whenever you're flying these planes, use everything in your arsenal to make sure that they fly perfectly. And make sure that you're not making any mistakes. These things do not forgive mistakes. Look at this. If you fly into the water, you better pitch up instantly. Because if not, you're going to drown. Pitch up. Boom, you're out. That's super maneuverability. Where they can just go in the water, leap in, get right out. Let's see if this thing can do a Cobra. Okay, 300 miles an hour. It can do a Cobra. Okay, let me try that again, though. And it recovers out of a stall insanely fast. Okay, let me try it again. Let me try it again. Cobra, Cobra, Cobra. For the win, the test of super maneuverability. Cobra. Perfect. Once again, close to the mountain so we can see just how well this thing stops. Its airframe would be torn apart, but hey, who cares if this was real life? Cobra. Look at that speedometer. And it can probably do the thing too, like the little turnaround. It can. Cool. Okay. That's the Sukhoi 35. Let me know if you all enjoyed. I hope you guys got some good teachings out of this. If anyone can post down in the comments just what you have to do, like little highlights, takeaways, for someone who actually watched the whole thing, because I know there are some of you mad lads who actually watched the whole thing. Please give some highlights to those with short attention spans, because I want them to know this. I want people to not feel like they have to use gyros or glitches to be able to be good builders. There's a whole new frontier out there, and it's beautiful. So please, if you would, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you want to see next, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. Remember, we're all trailmakers, so keep on creating. Peace.